Hey guys, if you're receiving this message, it is because you are a friend or a family member. I consider you to be a loved one, somebody who I care about. I care about your health, and I care about the health of your family. Okay, so right now we are in the valley of decision. We have to decide whether or not we're going to take a vaccine to protect ourselves from a virus that is potentially deadly, or we're going to go without and risk contracting a virus that could actually kill us, right? So we got to make a decision one way or another. Now, many people are very reluctant about taking the vaccine. I'm one of those persons, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. There's four main reasons. One, the speed in which the vaccine itself was created. Most vaccines take between 2 and 5 years in order to get produced. They have to go through clinical trials. Takes a while. This one was done in less than 9 months. Okay, when you make something fast, right? You're subject to make mistakes. When you do it rushed, you're subject to get reckless. Okay, um, I think that may be the case with this vaccine. And now we're starting to see side effects that surface in the news because people who have taken it, right? So that's the first thing, the speed in which it was created. Second thing is we don't know what the long term effects of this vaccine is. Now, that's not something that's a matter of speculation. That's something that's pretty much agreed to across the board, including uh, the pharmaceutical companies. They also agree to this too because they're in new terrain. This is new territory for them. So they don't know what the long term effects are. And lastly, or thirdly, now, each one of these vaccine companies, when you look at all four of them that's responsible for producing this vaccine, they have racked up over $30 billion in fines and penalties and settling legal disputes. All right. And this is primarily because of falsifying science, falsifying data, tampering with evidence, manipulating government employees, and paying out lawsuits to people who were injured by their medicines. Right. So think about this: in this country, if you commit a crime that's over $1,000, you're considered a felon. Well, by that very definition, we're relying on the medical community who are convicted felons to treat us with a coronavirus vaccine. Now, we have employers who won't hire felons because they can't trust them, because they have a criminal record. But we're supposed to trust um, pharmaceutical companies who've paid out over $1 billion for very egregious crimes, right? So I don't know about you, but that doesn't sit well with me, especially when they rush the product, right? And then finally, they are impervious to lawsuits. So if you or I get injured or killed because we took this vaccine, that's tough luck. That's just how the cookie crumbles. You can't sue them. So they compel you to take a vaccine that they have no legal responsibility in repairing some damage that's done to you because of a vaccine that they gave you. So, in other words, you take it at your own risk. Now, many of you may say, well, what's the alternative? This is the alternative, okay? This product right here. This is called Paximune. Now, what is Paximune? Paximune is a dietary supplement that is basically alpha interferon. It is composed of bovine proteins and it has been used for over 50 years and it has been successful in treating all kinds of illnesses, including COVID 19. Do you hear what I said? This product has been successful in treating all kinds of illnesses, including COVID 19. Now, as I mentioned, this has a long track record. It's been around for quite a while. In fact, when COVID 19 first broke out around the world, one of the key places that this product was used, or alpha interferon was used, was in Cuba. This is what they were using, right? Now, if you guys know anything about Cuba, and of course you can look this up, since the spread of COVID 19 globally, Cuba has had 11,000 infections and 150 deaths. Now, you compare that to a place like, I don't know, Florida. Florida, which is 90 miles away, 1.3 million COVID infections, 21,000 deaths. Now, granted, Florida is twice the size of Cuba. Florida is 22 million people. Cuba is only 11 million people, right? But that's still an astronomical number of people that have been infected and have died. 21,000 people compared to 150. The Cuban people were doing something right, and this is part of what they were doing. Now, if you want the actual medical abstract, I mean the article that studied the effectiveness of alpha interferon in treating Cuban people who had either contracted COVID or it prevented them from contracting COVID. If you want that article, it's a medical article, so it has, it's full of medical terminology. But if you want it, you want to read it, I can send that to you. Just text me, all right? Now, more about this. This product is now in over 140 cities in the United States. It's been taken by 25,000 people. This product is distributed by an individual by the name of Dr. Aleem Muhammad. Now, who is Dr. Aleem? Dr. Aleem is the former national spokesman for the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, and he was also the head of the Nation of Islam Ministry of Health. Dr. Aleem is known throughout the country, particularly in the black medical community. Everybody knows him. He's very credible. In fact, he came to national prominence because in the 90s he opened up a clinic called the Abundant Life Clinic, where he was successful in treating people who had contracted HIV. And he was treating them with a product called Kimron. What is Kimron? Kimron is a variation of alpha interferon. That's what Kimron is, right? So now, again, this product is in over 140 cities. 25,000 people are now taking this product. Now, because we are in perilous times, I think you should do your homework, really. I think you should look up what I'm telling you, and you should look up what people are saying and have said about vaccines. So included with this video, I'm going to give you a link to several things so you can take time to research this for yourself. First thing, I'm going to send you a few links with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the son of Robert F. Kennedy, who was assassinated, the U.S. Senator, brother of JFK. But this is his son, where he talks about the risk associated with vaccines. He talks about vaccines in general, but he also talks about the risk associated with this COVID vaccine. Very credible guy. Secondly, I'll send you videos about Dr. Aleem and who he is. Okay, he'll talk more about alpha interferon and talk about its effectiveness and his use and application of this treatment and to different people that was under his medical practice. Gives you more idea about who he is, his credibility, and because he's no slouch. You know, he's a guy that's been around for 40 years. He's known, and you should get to know him. So watch those videos. Thirdly, I'm going to give you links to independent news agencies that have talked about the use of alpha interferon in treating COVID patients. Now, these are independent agencies that have documented the use of this treatment, of this dietary supplement in China and in Cuba, and they discuss the results of it. Watch those videos. But lastly, and I think more importantly, you need to listen to the national weekly calls of the Your Immunity Project. The Your Immunity Project is hosted by Dr. Alim. So those 25,000 people that are now taking this product, they call in every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and they give their testimony about using this product. They talk about how to use it. They talk about the benefits of it. They talk about the effectiveness, whether it has been or has not been effective, right? You will hear stories about people who were seriously ill because of COVID. And they start taking this, and in a matter of days, they were much better. Much better. So those are live weekly calls. If you want to join in on them, you can. So I will send you links to 2 previous calls, and you can determine for yourself the authenticity of it. I think they're very authentic, very credible. All you got to do is listen to the calls for yourself, right? Now, I think the one thing that I do need to mention that's very important, because the national weekly calls are hosted by Dr. Alim and the Nation of Islam, some of the calls in the dialogue is religious in nature. But I would encourage you, don't be prejudiced by that. You may hear some religious dialogue that you may or may not agree with, but don't allow that to prevent you from listening to the science, listening to the credibility of the people who are speaking. Pay attention to what's being said, because it can save your life and the life of those you love. So don't prejudge, okay? That's not, because religion is not what this is about. This is about saving your life, okay? Getting something in your hands that can help you or help somebody that you love. So again, if you don't want to take the vaccine, you don't have to take the vaccine. You have options. You can take preventative measures to protect yourself and your family members and people that you love. Now, when it comes to getting a bottle of Paximune, I'm a local distributor. So if you want a bottle, all you have to do is contact me, and I will either send you one or I will deliver it to you personally. Now, because I am a distributor, there is a cost that's associated with this, but we can talk about that when you contact me, okay? So that's all I have, all right? Take it for what it's worth, but I think it's something that you need to do some serious research on. You need to think about, and you need to make a decision that's best for yourself and best for your family. So, to my Christian brothers and sisters, peace and blessings, and to my Muslim brothers and sisters, assalamu alaikum.